Zuma decided to break the ANC and divide it, and he's not going to stop about it. He decided to break us and reduce us below 40%, and he doesn't have a program of action of what he's going to do with that 40% except sending a questionable judge to Parliament. Very questionable character. Send him. Just to spit on the face of South Africa, he brings Hlophe and even send him to the JSE, just to show us that he's got no respect for constitutionalism and everything else. And then to spit on our face, he brings him to Parliament. And then to say, lead these people. What does Hlophe say? The first thing is asked, why do you lead, do you agree to lead this party? He says, no, it's because they embraced Zulu monarchy. And then I'm proud Zulu. That is what we call ethno. How we characterize ethno-nationalistic ideological characterization of this party. He doesn't say, I'm happy as a Democrat to participate in the discourse and to lead a party like, because that party does not have a meaning except a grievance. And even when he speaks, he's very angry. He's very angry. Ramaphosa is a liar. He doesn't know what he's talking about. His speech is not written by him. What does that have got to do with the content of taking South Africa forward? Now, the bankruptcy of these characters, you are going to see it going forward. But it must not deter us from doing what is right for the people of South Africa. They are a product of a democratic process. They are a product of a democratic process. The ANC and its allies must sit down, and this is what we are going to do in a 6-day meeting, and talk to each other in the political council later on, and even the secretariat of the alliance, talk to each other about these issues. If the Communist Party have arrived at the conclusion that the ANC is neoliberal in its approach and outlook ideologically, they've got to present that to the ANC and say that because of the following policies and what you are doing, you are neoliberal, then we've got to interrogate that. Now, to make a sweeping statement in a political school and then say that ANC leadership faction is basically deepening divisions. It's not constructive from the Communist Party. But you don't expect the Communist Party to romanticize GNU and agree with it. It's a very important moment where we are, and you don't expect COSATU to agree with GNU. You don't expect members of the ANC who are not in the NEC to agree with the GNU. We have briefed all our structures throughout the country. We are going now to the regions to engage them, to politicize them, and to say to them why we arrived at the decision that we arrived at. Let us not be told that because the DA is part of the GNU, it's a sellout position. Who said that if others were party to it, it will not still be characterized as such? What does EFF stand for? When they voted with the DA in the past, why are people so obsessed with the progressive nature of the... Every time EFF had an opportunity to work with the ANC, they threw us out. They gave Tshwane to the DA. They gave Johannesburg to the DA. They gave Port Elizabeth to the DA. They wanted to give eThekwini to the DA. And now you are basically told by a populist that they've got something to prove, that they can stand for. They are ideologically astute. You know, the revolutionary insurrection, rephrase mongering must move us. We are not moved by that. We know what we stand for. We know what the DA is. And it's not going to change us towards the DA. We know that their populist rhetoric is what they sold to our people, and they don't eat in the base of the DA, they eat in the base of the ANC. EFF does not organize in the suburbs and persuade the broader section of the South African populace that is seen to be favoring the DA to be on their side. They mobilize in our townships. They mobilize our people against the ANC. They cripple the ANC, just like Jacob Zuma. He does that. So what is so fashionable about them that if we had worked with them, it would have been a better option? First and foremost, as I conclude on that point, they rejected GNU, and then they did not know what they want from us. And two, they rejected our president. Zuma said he doesn't want our president. Today we have been asked to work with him. We said to us, if you don't want our president, he's a redliner. We said so. Today it is being distorted. These people are not even being asked what they stand for, except the land rhetoric. We have taken the land reform ministry beyond rhetoric and gave it to the PAC. And we're going to support them to get the land back. What are you talking about? 1% seat, political party, liberation movement. We gave them a significant position in the government of national unity. If they came, they wanted to be part of government of national unity, we would have also given them positions in that government as the ANC. They said they don't want to come in. They want, one of their very colorful leaders used this terminology: you are a dying party, you are better off dying in our hands than on the other side. Now somebody comes and negotiates with you and say you are a dying party, you are better off dying with us than with the other side. And then it tells you that it's not happened. We said we are getting into negotiations, and we're not going to go into these negotiations with the cap in the hand. With our 40%, we will decide what we want to do. We will decide to deepen the National Democratic Revolution and preserve what our people want, which is what I've explained in our manifesto. That's what we're doing. We're not concerned about ideological confusion and concoction that we have been persuaded to follow at the speed of the moment. We are persuaded by policy. The minute the president and his cabinet are going to tell us that NHI cannot be implemented in our government because of the constraints of the government of national unity, then we will know that is the moment of selling out. This president of ours and his collective have given us not just a blueprint, a program of action that unites South Africa, that addresses the statement of intent that is fundamentally about redress of our society. That's how you must judge them. And that's what is important to us. We will engage with the allies, as I've said. And it doesn't mean that Solima Paila is the General Secretary of the Communist Party, has got no right to characterize the ANC as neoliberal. We are interested to know how did he arrive at that. The time of talking through public platforms and insult each other and not behave maturely as the alliance are over. I can do the same. You are saying, Madisha, I was at the NEAU conference. I dealt with politics at the NEAU. Soli spoke after me. And it was right for him to talk to the workers and characterize issues from a political context and ideologically, why he arrived at that particular thing. Now we're dealing with snippets, you know, like gossip, WhatsApp group. And Soli, clip, we don't know what he said and why he arrived at that particular conclusion. Okay, maybe because of the DA and all of that. And so what he says, we're better off to work with the others. And we can equally engage. Who said these others are better off than the DA? Because our ally is COSATU, Communist Party. All these people are not our friends. We work with them in the best interest of national interest of South Africa. And what is that national interest to us? Is stability of government, is a government that is working for the people. And then in that government, the ANC must then realize what it promised. The 6 million people and even beyond, what we can do as a party. And that we can renew ourselves. We have been told that will drop below 50%. And then we fought very hard not to drop. We knew. Even our own research told us that you are standing at 43%. We even went below 43% to 40%. What does that tell you? That's why we characterize it as a significant setback. What does then the ANC do to respond to that situation? You are not going to respond to that situation by labeling. You face the truth as a party. You don't look inward. Stop fighting about positions. People are not interested in that.